We have Samantha in the wild.
Sorry.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Book Blabs. I'm Nat and I love to blab all things books. I want to start off with a quick little disclaimer. If you hear construction noises going on in the background, our bathroom, or one of the bathrooms in our house, is currently under construction and the crew is working. But I desperately want to film and get this video out, so you might hear construction noises. I apologize. Anyways, today we're doing my quarter 3 reading wrap up of 2025. So this video will go over all of the books that I have read July, August, and September. So first, let's do a little breakdown, okay? In these past 3 months, I have read 38 books. Round of applause. Thank you very much. I didn't want to do the math of giving you my average rating for these past 38 books. So if you're interested, maybe you could do the average, but I will be telling you what I rated the book as I go. Okay. So I read 20 romance books. I read 9 fantasy books. I read 5 literary fiction books, 3 mystery/thriller books, and 1 science fiction these past 3 months. So I've been busy. I'm actually pretty proud of myself because I don't read a lot of lit fic, and I read 5 in the past 3 months. So go me. I'm going to give myself a pat on the back.
Hi, this is Editing Natalie, and I just want to include a cute little surprise for you guys because yesterday I went to Oak Glen with my book club and we drank some hard cider. We got a little bit buzzed, a little tipsy, if you will, and I thought it would be a good idea to try and vlog the experience. So I'm just gonna include this little nugget of gold for you. I hope you enjoy.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Book Blabs. I'm Nat and I like to blab all things books. Today we're in Oak Glen with the book club. And we're picking apples. So let's see how this goes.
Okay, Nat, what's your secret to apple picking?
You've got to find the perfect apple.
Okay.
See this one?
Oh my god, that's beautiful.
Dusty, but it's like perfect.
Yeah.
And the method? Twist. Keep twisting.
Twist.
Twist it some more.
Oh my gosh.
Perfect release.
That was beautiful.
10 out of 10 execution.
Instead of like a bend and snap, it's a twist and snap.
It's no bend.
You
It's
guys
not,
are just
it's
watching
twist.
me suffer in the background and not even help. Give me that.
Here, take the thing. Come on, Ashley, do it.
No.
Oh, yay!
Can I try now, please?
Nat takes it on.
Oh my god.
I had a little bit of hard cider before this, okay?
Okay, you're almost there. You got it. Why are you going for the tallest one?
Look at it!
Ah!
Alright, Sarah wants it.
Okay, let's see.
Here you go, Mom.
I thought that was my job, Natalie.
He just calls everyone.
You gotta twist.
I know, I am.
Twist and snap. All right, I want to see your method.
Oh my god, look at that one's like almost split perfectly in half.
Because I stomped on it on accident.
See, like, okay, this one, it's got some nice roundness to it. And then we're just gonna get the nails too.
Yeah, so aesthetic.
So aesthetic.
Beautiful apple.
Beautiful.
For a beautiful woman.
Oh my gosh, nice to see you. Right.
She wants the tall one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it.
Ladies and gents, she's getting a big boy.
There you go, Sarah. Just get it.
Oh, yes.
Good job.
Good job. What's your secret? Oh, she's a YouTuber, guys. All right, guys, here's my secret method. Go to twist. The perfect apple. It's a secret. Guys, it's photo shoot time. The camera's out. Ashley, what's your secret to the perfect photo?
There is no perfect photo. You just gotta live life.
Okay, Miss Psych Major, what's your secret to a perfect photo?
Fun. Smile.
I'm like so close to you.
I'm like, hopefully I don't have any nose hair showing. Like,
No, you're good. You're good, babe.
yeah, you know, just have fun. Oh my god, sorry.
She's taking me out with
her with this. Yeah, just have fun. It's live your life, you know?
Yeah.
La vida loca, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let me see your hoard.
So far we got 3 balls.
Girl, you need more apples. You can't make a dessert with that.
I know. Well, because these are going to be my work snacking apples.
Oh,
so for
got
when I'm
it.
at the office,
Got it.
these are
She's a
snacking.
practical woman.
I am. And I like a nice little, like, sweet, healthy treat for
Yeah.
my work day.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with the peanut butter cups on my desk, you got to have a better option.
Guys, do you go do you go apple picking with your book club?
You're not as cool as our book club, bitch.
We talk about ghost stories and then pick apples like
Oh my
basic
god, look at this
bitches.
one's a juicy ass bitch. Hold on. Look at this one. Oh my god. Oh, it's got dirt all over it.
You wash it, honey.
Oh, that's true.
We have Samantha in the wild.
Sorry. Because me and Cass are trying to find, she's sending me tattoo inspos right now for us to get.
You're getting a tattoo?
Well, not right now.
You don't have any tattoos, do you?
Girl, what?
Yes, you do. I lied. I'm sorry.
I'm like, what?
I'm
drunk.
drunk.
I have so many.
Lizard. 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 But yeah, let's just dive in. I don't want to spend the next 6 hours talking, so I'm gonna try and go like rapid fire. The first book I read in July was His Little Red by Vivi Page. This is a dark romance about a girl going to like a Halloween party dressed up as Red Riding Hood, and then she gets kidnapped by a big bad wolf. I don't really remember why, but I gave this book 2 stars. You know, the spice was spicy, but the writing wasn't great. The plot was meh. You know, I think really if you just want to read a good spicy book to like put you in the mood for something or just, you know, scratch an itch that you have, that one is a good dark spicy romance. Just wasn't my favorite. The second book I read in July was Night of the Vampire by L.E. Wilson. This was part of a series of audiobooks that I was listening to, and each book followed a different couple, and it had like different tropes in it. So this first one, Night of the Vampire by L.E. Wilson, was he is a vampire and she is a witch. So they're like sworn enemies, and I think it's in like Louisiana. It's like a very small town. It was kind of giving like Originals vibes, if you've ever seen the Originals. Yeah. Someone in the vampire, I was going to call it a tribe. It's not a tribe. Coven is sick. And so the head honcho, the male guy, needs a witch's help, and so he asks this witch and they fall in love. But the twist is she doesn't really know she's a witch, and you know that from the beginning. But I rated that one 3 stars. It wasn't great, but I was entertained. I loved the Originals vibes. Book 3 that I read was Leather and Lark by Bryn Weaver. This is book 2 in the Ruinous Love trilogy. I loved this book. This book, I gave it 5 stars. I love Bryn Weaver's writing. She's just fun. She's entertaining. It's very comedic. It's dark, but it's comedic, and I love the comedy. I also loved Lark. Loved her. She is so fun, and she's bright, and has a great sense of humor. She's bubbly, and I just found myself cracking up at just how fun and bubbly she was, and the male love interest. I loved how grumpy he was. Yeah. Number 4, I read The Sweetest Oblivion by Danielle Laurie. Oh my gosh, 5 stars. This is like a mafia romance. It's book 1 in The Maid. I don't know if it's a trilogy or just a series, but the way that this man pines for this woman, the way that he desires her, even though he's engaged to her sister, because it's like a mafia family. So they have like arranged marriages. He wants this woman. And I don't know what Danielle Laurie put into the pages of these books, but I was addicted. It was like a drug to me. I wanted to keep reading. I binged this book so fast. Number 5, I read Secret of the Vampire by L.E. Wilson. This is book 2 in that trilogy that I spoke about earlier. I rated this one 2 stars. I honestly don't remember who the couple was. I think this one is the guy was a witch and then the female was a vampire, and they were still part of like enemy. I forgot the word. I don't know. They're just sworn enemies. And I don't remember what the drama was or the plot was of this book. So read it if you want to. I wasn't as entertained as the first book, clearly, hence the 2-star rating. But I don't know what it says that it's not super memorable. Number 6, we have The Women by Kristen Hanna. I rated this book 5 stars. I love Kristen Hanna's writing. I think this is book 3 I've read by her, because I don't know. I think it's book 3. I've read 2 other books by her. Yes. Anyways, she is so good at capturing moments in history and making you feel like you are there. Her characters are so real and they're so believable. And I love how her books are historically accurate. You know, like she jumps into the timeline at that point and then she just creates a character within the facts. So it's like almost feels like a blending of fiction and reality. But she doesn't create some massive event to like change history. No, she's just so good. And the way that she captures emotion and makes you feel things, because like our country, like the Vietnam War happened, and that's what this book is about. But we don't talk about it very much because it was a war that we didn't really win. It was just kind of like a ceasefire on both sides. But so many people died on both sides. And so many people were getting recruited and just shipped off because we were just churning through armies because of how like big and deadly and scary this war was. But we didn't really talk about it afterwards. We still don't really talk about it. Like we don't really learn about it much in schools either. It's a lot. So, but this book specifically targets what it was like to be a woman in the Vietnam War and how they were even more neglected to be talked about and like remembered and honored. And I just remember feeling so angry for these women, and I wasn't even there. I wasn't even a thought yet. My parents were, if they weren't born yet, maybe they were born, but if they were like infants. So I don't know. And I just felt myself getting so angry for characters that don't even exist. Anyways, great writing. I loved Kristen Hanna's book. I love all of the books that I've read so far by her. I definitely need to read more. Number 7, I read The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. I gave this book 4 stars. This is the book where there's 3 brothers, because it's a trilogy and each book follows a different brother. And this first one is, in order to get their inheritance once their grandfather passes, they each have a task. So this first book follows Rowan, and Dreamland is like Disneyland, kind of like, think those kind of vibes. So he has to like create something for the park or like make it better and prove that he's made the park better, in order to get his share of the company and his inheritance and stuff. So he hires this really creative like artist because she pitches an idea, but she did it when she was drunk. So she was very sassy, very sarcastic, but he liked her spark and he liked her idea. So he hires her, and then she starts working on a team to create his visions or their visions. It's kind of just like the Imagineers, I think that's what Disneyland calls them, but I forgot what they call them in this book. But it's like, the highest idea engineers. They come up with all the new ideas for the rides, for the parks, the lands, um, what they envision is what comes true. So I don't know. This book was like Office Plays romance, but I loved the fire of the female character, and I loved how grumpy the main male character is, but he has like a soft spot for her. He sees that she doesn't have a lot of money, and she like forgets to eat a lot, so he'll like feed her. I don't know. It's sweet. It's sweet. I liked it. Book number 8 that I read is The Silversmith by L.J. Claren. This was an arc that I got to read. It's a fantasy book, and I think it's on Kindle Unlimited, but I'm not 100% sure. And it was really good. This woman finds out that she is like within the very like first chapter, she finds out that she is a queen or like an heir to some throne, and she has magical powers.
Huh?
Was that English? She has magical powers. And so she gets taken by these men, and she starts training, and she starts going because she has to save land. I read a lot of fantasy series, and they're all very similar plots. So I know this sounds so basic. But anyways, she is supposed to, there's like a prince in another land that she is fated to marry, but she's with this like general of an army, and she's like training with him, and they bicker and they fight and they start falling for each other. But she's like, I can't be falling in love with this man because I am engaged to marry this other prince because we need to save the land and like, form this alliance. That's all I really know. If that's completely wrong, I'm gonna clown myself. But yeah, 4 stars. I was entertained. It was good. It was fun. Just a little bit like cliche, nothing too different about it than other fantasy series I've read. Number 9, I read Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I gave this book 5 stars. I loved the anxiety representation in this book. I myself am not like diagnosed with anxiety, but I do have a lot of like anxious habits that are like, that my therapist told me are just, they started because of traumas from like my childhood, my young adulthood, just life. And so there are things that give me anxiety or cause me to be have anxious habits. And I just related to a lot of the things. I think his name was Jacob felt. And I know it was just a really, really sweet book. And they're 2 doctors, and they wrote each other love notes, hence the Yours Truly. There was a big, big theme of miscommunication in this book, though, and it kind of made me a little bit frustrated. But it wasn't just miscommunication for like miscommunication's sake. There was reasons for it. So it's not like end of the world. I still rated it 5 stars. But if you do hate miscommunication, beware. Miss Jimenez really likes to throw that in her book. Number 10, I have The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I rated this book 4 stars. This was the perfect gothic, spooky fantasy vibes. So this girl is, I forgot what they call them. But instead of gods, they have like omens, and there's 6, I forgot what they call them, but they're like seers almost. They like live in this like mist covered cathedral, and they have shrouded faces, so people don't know what they look like. And what they do is they drown themselves in this like spring, and it lets them like see the future through the omens. It's like an omen given gift, and they can see future, and they can give people like prophecies and like tell them if they have luck in their future or bad luck in their future. Anyways, there are 6 of these girls, and all of them start going missing one by one. Every night, a different girl disappears. We don't know where she went. And so finally, number 6, the last girl, she leaves. She's not supposed to leave, but she leaves with this knight that she kind of butted heads with. They're not each other's biggest fan. to solve the mystery. Where have I think they're diviners, that's what they're called, where her fellow diviners have gone. And I don't know, it's spooky, it's mysterious. It's like, like when you get the vibes of just like fog filled, and it's like there are gargoyles and creepy black eyes, and it's just like really, it's not scary, but it's like very gothic and spooky almost. So this is a perfect book to read this fall. It is October, so if you're thinking about picking up a book, maybe that one. If I didn't say it, I rated it 4 stars. Number 11, I read The Deal by L. Kennedy. I rated this one 3 stars. I might have rated it 3.5. I don't remember. I just went off of Goodreads, and they don't let you show your half ratings. Yeah, I rated this one 3.5 stars. I liked it. It just wasn't my favorite. I think I've read hockey romances that I've liked more. I did really like the friendship to lovers aspect of Hannah and Garrett. I think they were cute. I liked how it went a little bit deeper with like their backstories, and it wasn't just like a perfect girl and a perfect boy and they fall in love. Like they actually had like trauma or like traumatic pasts that they got to like unpack a little bit and share with each other, that like just strengthened their bond. Yeah, this one's like a fun turn your brain off read, so I'd recommend it for sure. Number 12 is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This book was so good. I rated it 5 stars. This one is a young adult mystery thriller, but it's like Criminal Minds vibes. So through the FBI, they have like a team of like brilliant teenagers that they recruit. So they have different like specialists that they do, and it's like a team of people, and they're starting them off with like cold cases because they just want to like train them to like be in the real world. But yeah, our main character gets recruited because she's really good at, I forgot what her, I think she's really good at like reading people. Like she's good at like doing deductions, like kind of like Sherlock Holmes, deducing facts and like stuff. But I don't remember. I just know that like each of the people on the team had like something special that they could do. Anywho, yeah, it's like a little teenage Criminal Minds team, and they're eventually, so the main girl character, the female main character has her mom was brutally murdered in the past, and now there is a serial killer popping up that's kind of like showing similar signs of the way that her mom was murdered. So it's like, it gets tense. And so we don't know if it's the real, like the same serial killer, or if it's a copycat, and you'll have to read to find out. Number 13 is Darling Venom by Parker S. Huntington. I gave this book 3 stars. This one, I believe, is, it's a dark romance, and I know that I read this one based on like a TikTok. I think Mariana Reeds also recommended this. They know each other somehow, and but they don't like each other, and it's just fate keeps like having them meet, and let's just say that mutual desires start to form between these two. Yeah. Number 14 is Two Can Play by Allie Hazelwood. This was an audiobook that I listened to. I think it takes place around like the winter time, not Christmas though, but it's like a snowy cabin. And this is the one where it's like video game developers, video game engineers on 2 separate warring, I guess, enemy teams. Like they're 2 different companies, but there's like this big game that's coming out, and it needs both of these video game companies to collaborate to put forward the best game with all the coding, the graphics, the storyline, everything. And there's a guy and a girl that kind of flirted with each other in the past, but then kind of like became estranged, and now they have to work together. And let's just say some sparks fly. I don't know. It was so fun. I loved that. I rated it 4 stars if I didn't already say that. Those are the 14 books that I read in July. So let's get on to the 12 books I read in August. So the first book I read in August is Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. I rated this one 4 stars. This one was really fun. I loved how it felt like Bridgerton meets Howl's Moving Castle. It was like it combines like historical romance fiction-y vibes with like cozy fantasy. So in this one, our main character, Theodora or Dora, she gets half of her soul taken from her by a fairy or a fae when she's a young girl. So that forces her to have like half of her emotions. You know, she can't feel anything super strongly. She can't feel like sadness too much or like anger. She's kind of, people call her almost like a robotic, like a robot or robotic, inhumane. Like, are you even human? But she goes to town with her cousin because it's like the season to start like dating and courting people. And she meets a very grumpy young wizard. And when he finds out that she only has half her soul, he is determined to help her solve the mystery or get it back. And so they start working together. And she finds out that he has a bigger heart than he might let on. So I loved it. It was so good. It was so cozy. It felt like a warm hug. So definitely want to read that this fall or winter. I really recommend it. The second book I read in August was The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Now I know a lot of people love this book. I'm going to give my hot take. I'm going to rate it 2 stars. I'm sorry. It had a very strong beginning. I loved how it opened with someone being like discovered as dead. It starts with the death. And so now you're like, oh my gosh, this person is dead. And then it just automatically, you know, right after that, it rewinds to like the beginning. And so you're like, okay, the whole time, you know, this person is going to die, but you don't know how, you don't know who did it, you don't know why. So it's like you're all anxious and like everything, you're like second guessing everything going up. But then halfway through this book, you get to the en medias res that the book started with the death. And afterwards, I guess is kind of like the downfall, the repercussions. But honestly, I think the second half of the book was almost unnecessary or did not need to be as long. I feel like it lost focus. It kind of like went off the tracks of like what the story was trying to do. It just felt unorganized. It felt like the pacing just flew off the rails and it got really boring. And I'm sorry, I know a lot of people love this book and I'm not hating on you. I just think that the book could have been a lot shorter because I don't know, the ending was just not it for me. So 2 stars. The third book I read in August was Scythe and Sparrow by Bryn Weaver. This was book 3 in the Ruinous Love trilogy. This follows the last brother, and I rated this one 4 stars. Not super memorable. I don't remember liking it as much as the second one or the first one. This one I just felt like it was okay. I was entertained. I was laughing. The banter was good. The chemistry was good. But just plot wise, I feel like it was just lacking a little bit. It wasn't my favorite. Yeah, it was okay. The fourth book I read in August was First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. I rated this book 4 stars. I thought this book was so sweet, and I loved that it was 2 people who fell in love through a talk show, like an over the radio talk show. And you know, she's a romantic, almost giving up on love because she can't find anyone who meets her standards. And this guy who runs this talk show about love has given up on love completely. He does not believe in it, but he still runs the show. You know, he's playing a part. But once meeting this fiery, quirky woman who believes in love so much, he starts to second guess whether he believes in love or not. Yeah, it's sweet. I love it. It was so good. It was so cute. I think it's a good like Valentine's Day read, you know. The fifth book I read was Distance by Luna Mason. I'm gonna be so real with you. I don't remember reading this. I went through my Goodreads and everything, and it says I read it. I rated it 3 stars, but I read the synopsis like that Goodreads gives, and I'm like, I don't remember at all. But I used 3 different reading tracking apps, and all 3 of them said I read them on the same dates. Like it all lined up. So I don't know if I just have memory loss or if the book was just that forgettable. Because I gave it 3 stars. So like there was something I liked about it, but I don't remember what. Um, that's so awkward. Um, but yeah, Distance by Luna Mason. And the 6th book I read in August is Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. I rated this 5 stars. I absolutely loved this book. It was so good. I cannot wait for book 2 to come out. I think it's coming out either later this year or early next year. And I cannot like the cover has not been revealed, but the title was. So I'm just so stoked. But this is a girl who gets chosen. It's supposed to be her sister. Is supposed to get married off to this like other king, and he's known for being like brutal and cold and but for like I think it's like hundreds of years. It's like these a son and a daughter are forced to get married to keep the alliance and keep the treaty going. And so the king shows up and he picks our main character instead of her sister. And everybody's like, what? I wasn't training for this. Because what the girl's mission is to do is to find a way. There's like a secret hidden city with like protection. There's some sort of like thing, valuable object that they're looking for, that the girl's father's looking for. So he is trying to quickly tell her that she needs to infiltrate this kingdom that she's marrying into and find the secrets and give it to him. So she's already trying to be like a spy, but she doesn't know how to be a spy because she wasn't trained for this her whole life, but her sister was. So she's like just thrown into the deep end. And there's the general of the army that she was trying to like train her because she's like weak, but she's kind of falling in love with like, she hates him at first, but they're like kind of interested in each other. And she feels bad because the guy that she married is giving her the cold shoulder. But there's a twist, and it's so good. 5 stars. I cannot wait for book 2. I'm so excited. Book 7 of August was The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Lori Gilmore. I rated this one 3 stars. I thought it was sweet. I thought it was cute. It was very fall. It was very cozy. It was, very low stakes. I did like that there was like a little baby mystery element to it. The romanced, it was cute. I just thought the pacing was off, and it just like it wasn't that deep. And I guess that could just be the low stakes writing of it, but I just wanted something like more. I wanted a little more from it. So for me, it was just a little bit flat, but it's perfect for just like a cozy, turn your brain off read when you want to curl up with the blanket, light a candle, eat some fall goods, fall baked yummies, and curl up with a book. Perfect for it. The 8th book I read in August is I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. I gave this book, sorry, I can't read my writing, 3 stars. This book is very short, very good. It was very fascinating. It's kind of, I call it lit fic, but it's kind of almost sci-fi. There's this group of women who are like locked in a cage. They're just imprisoned. They've been imprisoned to this bunker, and that's all that they know. They don't really, especially, well, I guess some of them know a little bit like from their past, but the our main character, she doesn't remember. Like she was basically almost born in this prison, so she doesn't know anything. And it's all women. The guards are male, but she doesn't really interact with them. But then suddenly an alarm goes off and the guards run off and disappear, but they leave the cage open. So the women are left to survive on their own. They enter this world that they have no idea where they are. It everything looks like abandoned. So I don't know if it's like sci-fi, like, it's like the apocalypse happened. I don't know. Um, it's very good. It talks about like, just the female mind when it doesn't have interaction with men and that kind of like innocence and naivete. I don't know. There's a lot of social commentary. I think it's really good. I was so confused by the ending. So like, please read this book and talk to me so maybe we can form theories together. But I don't know. It was good. Just not my favorite. That's why I rated it 3 stars. The next book I read was Cherish by Tracy Wolff. This was the 6th and last book in the Crave series. I rated this 4 stars. I had a good time. This book was just more nostalgic for me because a few years back I started the Crave series, and it's basically this like high school for paranormal creatures, there's witches and dragons and like dragon shifters and werewolves and vampires in this school. And Grace, our main character, her parents die. She's a human, and she gets thrown into this school because her uncle um, owns this academy, and her cousin is a witch. And so she's just enrolls in this school because she has no one else that she can live with. So he's taking care of her. She's out of her league with all of these paranormal creatures. And this is the plot of the first book because I don't want to spoil the 6th book for you. Yeah, and it's just like there's a big overarching enemy. Like, it starts little and then it just gets bigger. Yeah, it's fun. And let me say, there is a hot British vampire named Hudson Vega. I forgot about this book boyfriend, and he's too young for me because he's like, I want to say 18 or 19. I don't know. He's young, but when I started reading this book, he was more my age. I forgot how swoon worthy he is. And the next book I read is Somewhere Beyond the Sea by TJ Klune. This was the second, or like the sequel to House in the Cerulean Sea by the same author. And I rated this one 5 stars as well. This book is just so cozy. The first one is better, I will say. I rated them both 5 stars, but I will say, like, the first book is just better. Nothing truly captures that cozy, just lovely, happy, found family, wonderful kisses and hugs and all like sunshine inside your heart vibe like that first book. This second book is also really good, but it's more political. I feel like the first book kind of grazes over certain things, like social commentaries, political conversations, because it wants to be more cozy. But this book kind of addresses those. It dives in, it fights back, it stands like it really speaks out on the things that were kind of glossed over in the first book. So this book is a little bit harder to read. It's more heartbreaking. It's a little bit more depressing, but you still have the happy found family, the cozy vibes like in the background to like as a support system and something to lean on. But there are a lot of hard conversations and hard topics happening in this book, but it's still, I think, a must read. The next book I read is Love and Lattes by Beth Reekles. I rated this book 3 stars. I thought this book was cute, but not my favorite. I just know that this girl gets a very highly competitive, like, there's very minimal spots for this internship, and she gets one of the spots. And she is a workaholic. She's determined to excel, to do the best that she can. She wants to be ahead. So she works. Um, and before she starts this internship, she meets a guy at a bar that she hits it off with. They kiss each other. I don't think it goes any further than that, but they have a moment. And when she shows up to her internship a few days later, she finds out that he works there too. And he is the CEO's son. So she's freaking out because she's like, oh my gosh, I'm about to lose my internship. Because she lied about her age to get the spot, and she told him that she lied about her age. And so now it's awkward because they know each other, but they're going to pretend like they don't know each other. And I don't know, love ensues. It's fun. Cute. The last book I read in August is Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. 5 stars. 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. I don't know if you listen to my podcast, but I talk about this book in depth with Lorelai. There is something for everyone in this book. This book captures just the human experience, I think, so well. Grief, loneliness, like when you're too hard on yourself, and just processing life and hardship, and how you want to take care of people, but you're also scared of taking care of people, and you want people to take care of you, and vice versa. And just, I thought it was just going to be about an octopus, but you guys, it is about so much more. Please read this book. It is so good. It's so good. I really, really loved this book. Yeah, it won the awards that it did for a reason. It is so good. All right. The first book I read in September is Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. I rated this one 4 stars. I thought it was fun. It was the 2 books that I've read by Frederick Bachman have very similar writing styles, where he kind of writes in the third person like a fly on the shoulder. So you're jumping around from like shoulder to shoulder, kind of getting in everyone's thoughts. So this book is about a hostage situation, but there's a twist. It's like you think it's about a hostage situation, but it's not. It's about so much more. And it's just about how people who are in completely different walks of life have an ability to bond with each other, and, be compassionate with one another and relate to one another. They're of all ages, they're of all marital statuses, they're of all different walks of life. Under this situation, they're able to just come together and just really form a bond that's really special. Yeah, it's just like, I think it's just something that's so beautifully human, is that ability to relate to someone so different from you and just put yourself in their shoes. And it was just a beautiful story. There are little moments that kind of like pulled me out of it. That's why I rated it 4 stars, but I definitely think that book should be read by everyone. It was very fun, comical. Frederick Bachman loves to write little like comedic kernels within the pages, and so you'll laugh out loud. The second book I read in September is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I rated this one 4 stars. I don't think this was her best book. Normally I rate Ali a good 5 stars. I will be real. But this one, I feel like it just lacked a little bit. I mean, the reason for these characters getting together just didn't really make sense to me, just because they have similar sexual preferences. They were just kind of thrown together and started having a good time, and it just made the chemistry lack a little bit for me. Yeah, plus the male main character was kind of, I wouldn't say cold, but it was almost cold. Like, he still cared for her, but it was just not, I didn't get like a warm presence from him. And so I don't know, it just kind of pulled me out of it. But I will never say anything truly bad about Ali Hazelwood. She's one of my favorite authors, so that's why I said 4 stars. It's just not everyone's favorite cup of tea. It wasn't my absolute favorite either. The next book I read by in September was Lights Out by Navessa Allen. I rated this one 3 stars. I'm sorry. I know so many of you love this book, but I just couldn't. I couldn't get on board. Like, I was still entertained at some points, but there were so many things that were just so like, it was too easy. Like, everything worked out too easily. I'm like, when you have a dark romance and there's like murder happening and there's like stalking and this and that, like, you're gonna hit snags. Like, there, and I think that's what adds to the tension is like, oh gosh, like, how are they gonna get out of this one? But this one, it just felt like everything worked out perfectly. Oh, I just so happened to have an uncle who blah blah blah. Oh, I just so happened to notice that blah blah blah. And it was just very convenient. And I'm just like, this is too easy. There's no, thank you. But I did enjoy the spice. I did enjoy the chemistry between the two characters. Just plot wise, too convenient for me. I need more of a struggle. I don't know if that says something about me. The next book I read was Summer in the City by Alex Astor. I rated this one 4 stars. I thought this book was really fun. It's like a fake dating billionaire trope. You know, she's a screenwriter. She writes for like movies and she's like a very popular one, but she is basically like in a slump. She does not know what to write. She has writer's block. And in the movie she's writing for is supposed to take place in New York. So she goes to New York and meets up with the billionaire that she hooked up with once, like years ago. And they basically hated each other because he assumed that she was a gold digger and she did not like that. It put a bad taste in her mouth. So he's like, I want to take you home. She's like, never going to happen. And then walked out because he offered her money, a date, like he tried to like buy her. And she didn't like that. So now that she's back in the city years later, they're neighbors, of course, because she's house sitting for someone, her sister, and now they're neighbors. Crazy, I know. But he needs someone to be his fake girlfriend so the press and people get off of his back. And she needs inspiration for her screenplay. So they decide to help each other out. So yeah, it was cute. It was fun. I liked the vibes they had going. I liked that New York felt like one of the main characters because I've never been to New York. So it kind of felt like I was in New York for a bit. The next book I read was Enigma by Runix. This book I gave 5 stars. It probably does not deserve a 5 stars. But I read Gothicana by Runix and I also gave it 5 stars. Whatever Runix puts in the pages of these books, I'm addicted to. Like, I love the vibes. I love the romance. I love the, like, gothic vibes. Like, I don't know. It's just the perfect chef's kiss for my brain. And I know that a lot of people find the writing cringy and they don't like it. And understandable. Like, have a great day. Like, I'm not hating on you. But, like, for me, these books just, they're just so perfect for me. And they're not literature. I will admit, they are not literature. I just have so much fun reading them. And they just make me so happy. And they just, I have a really, really good time reading them. But this one is about a girl who her sister, like, died a mysterious death and no questions were asked or answered. And so she applies and goes to this school to figure out what happened. And so as she's going to this school, she's digging into like the mysterious deaths of the past, and she figured out that there's more than just one. And so then she starts diving into like a secret society. And along the way, there's this very hot, brooding TA who is keeping his eye on her. And let's just say sparks fly as she's digging into this like murder mystery, secret society, dangerous vibes. Love. Love, 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 love. The next book I read was Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. This was book 2 in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. I love Lila Sage's writing. I give this 4 stars. It's just, I love the family vibes. Like, the family in this book is just so good, and I love how they just like adopt other people. You know, they see a people like a person in need and they just pull them into their family. They're like welcome with open arms. They give them a place to stay. They give them food to eat. They give them a job, whatever they need to get back on their feet, or you know. The next book I read was Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage, which is book 3 of the Rebel Blue Ranch series. This one followed Teddy and what's the eldest brother's name? Was it Gus or August? Maybe, I think. But single dad. He's a single dad. Like the mom, he co-parents with the mom, which is cute. I love the vibes and the friendship between them. They're like best friends. But Teddy loses her job, and so Gus hires her, even though they hate each other. And just watching like Teddy with his daughter, and then Gus see Teddy in a different light. It's just, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Plus, you get like, sorry if you heard that. Plus, you get like the cowboy ranch vibes. And I was reading this towards like the end of summer, and so it was just perfect vibes. I loved it. I need to read Wild and Wrangled, which is the last book, but it's available on my library app, so I need to listen to it stat. Guys, I'm so sorry. I was editing and I realized that my microphone died, so I'm gonna quickly record the last bits. We have The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez, and I just love her ability to capture like just that deeper human emotion and just like the human experience. There's always something deeper going on with those characters, and I think that Abby Jimenez is able to brilliantly capture it. I did not like, however, that she does miscommunication again in this book, but you know, to each their own. A lot of humans miscommunicate every single day. Like, just because I have gone to therapy and I know how to communicate properly doesn't mean that everybody else has. And so I think that's part of learning and growing and being human, is learning how to communicate properly. Okay, the next book I read was The First Day of Spring by Nancy Tucker. I rated this one 3 stars. It's dark. It's very dark. It starts with an 8-year-old girl named Chrissy murdering a young boy. He's like 2 or 3. He's a toddler. And she loves the feeling of power that it gives her. And so this book kind of jumps timelines. It's her as an 8-year-old Chrissy, and kind of like how she got to that point of like murdering and getting to that, her traumatic childhood. And, you know, she is very neglected, very abusive parents. But it also jumps forward 20 years from then to, she changed her name to Julia for her like identity's sake. Like, she's already gone to like prison and reformatory things. She's done her time. She's learned the lesson. She's, you know, changed and reformed. It's now 20 years later, and her name is Julia, and she has a daughter of her own named Molly. And she's terrified that she's not a good mother to her daughter Molly, and that she's going to lose her. So it jumps back and forth between these 2 timelines, and it's very hard. And there's a lot of commentary that can be said. It's very graphic. It's very depressing. It's like a kick to the stomach. And when you think it can't get sadder, it does. The next book I read was Episode 13 by Craig DeLuey. I read this with Lorelai for our book club. So please go check out our podcast, our little library on Spotify, because we spent a whole episode talking about this book. It's very fun. Yeah. Next, oh wait, I should talk about the book. I rated it 3 stars. It's about a paranormal team that goes to this like holy grail of a haunted house for their 13th episode, and weird things start happening, and the ending is a little bit disorienting, which is not my favorite thing in the world, but I did love how this book had multiple mediums. Like, it was like it had raw footage, but then it also had diaries, and then it also had text messages and emails, and it was just mixed medium, kind of like a epistolary novel, but like a step up. And I don't know, it was really good. It wasn't very scary, but it was unsettling, and I think it really talks about like the human curiosity and how curiosity can kill the cat, especially for humans who are, I don't think we were built or designed to comprehend the beyond, which is like the paranormal stuff and like the what's next, and ask these bigger, what is the entire meaning of life and afterlife questions. I'm a Christian, and I don't think that's the way God designed us. So the next book I read was Scythe by Neil Shusterman, and I rated this book 5 stars, which is very surprising for me because I don't normally read or enjoy science fiction, but this book was so good. In this world, it's like in the future, we have conquered death. We have conquered sickness. People don't die of old age. People don't die of sickness. If you get into a car accident and it's supposed to be deadly, like you jump off a building, you jump off a cliff, and your body splats, they are able to revive you. So there's no such thing as death anymore. However, because of politics and because of society and because of overpopulation issues, because people are still going to get married and have children, there is like a group of people called scythes, who it is their job to kill people, and they can do it any way that they want for any reason that they want, as long as they just have a quota. I think it's like 5 a week or something, but they do have to choose people to die. And it's very hard because they're not dying of old age or sickness anymore. They are dying because the scythes decide that it's their time. But they're very moral. They're very considered like almost like priests, you know. They're very like holy, very moral, very highly respected because they have a very hard job to do. So there are 2 teenagers, one's named Rowan and one's named Citra. They get chosen to be an apprentice to a scythe. They're going to get trained to be scythes, and if they pass the test, they will get the ring, and they will become scythes themselves. So it's very good, very political, very awesome. Last but not least, the last book I read was The House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. This is a young adult paranormal fantasy, spooky vibes. These 3 young sisters disappear for a month when they're young, and their parents don't know where they go. They're just gone. They vanished. When they come back, they're different. Instead of dark hair, they have white hair. Instead of their light eyes, they now have black eyes, and they just have not been the same since. And they're able to get people to do things that they don't normally want to do based on their like beauty and their touch. People find them intoxicating and alluring, and they don't really know why. But yeah, the eldest sister named Gray goes missing. So it is the 2 younger sisters, they charge themselves with figuring out what happened, and so they jump into the paranormal world again to figure out what happened to Gray. And so it's spooky, it's mysterious, it's kind of creepy. They're being chased by this masked man determined to kill them. It's very scary, like not like horror scary, but like I hate being chased scary. Yeah, I rated that one 3 stars. It was good. I did not like how graphic it was. Like there's a lot of imagery for death and decay and rot, and it just like grossed me out, but it was perfect for spooky season. But yeah, anyways, that brings this video to an end. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me. Please leave a pumpkin comment in the comments if you stayed this whole time. Let me know if you read any of these books, or if you want to read any of these books. Let me know if you have any suggestions based on the books that I really liked. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time, but I hope you have a great week, great month, great reads. I love you. Thank you so much for joining. Please like, comment, subscribe.